Good morning, Maria. Nice to see you here. Thank you for coming. It looks as if it might work, doesn't it, eh? Let's hope it does. Let's hope it does. So, reason why I've come over here onto YouTube Live, oh, morning, Heather, morning, June, is that I'm hoping that it will actually work better for me with the signal, because I do think that the signal is really bad over on Facebook and not so bad on here. So let's just hope. Does it look nice? That's good. Morning, everybody. Oh, I'm so glad you found me. Thank you. Thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple of new products, and I'm going to show you some of the flower making as well. So lots of different things. Just trying to get the camera angle. Hold on, bear with me. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit more so that you can see it. Now that still looks upside down to me, so I am assuming that it isn't upside down to you. So Facebook Live is going to be YouTube Live if all works well, so let's hope it does. So nice to see everybody joining me, and I will be putting a link to this on the Maximum Crafts group, so that people that couldn't find us today will be able to go over. But also it will be straight away on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed already, although I think many of you have, do that, because then I believe that you get to know whether when I'm coming on anyway. So that's great if you do. So here is the card. So the card is made with some of the new Nellie Snellen Combi layered dies, and that's what we're doing for the Sunday special. So that's this lovely background here. I've also used a few other bits and pieces to show you, and I thought we'd do some flower foam bits and pieces there as well. So let us make a start and show you what's what. Okay, let's put that to one side for the minute. Whoops-a-daisy. Okay, so this is the new combi, layered combi dies, and they come in a section of two. One that I've already still got all packed in here. They come 12 by 12 millimeters. You can't extend them because they cut the outside edge as well. So they cut into the square. And there's also another selection, so this is called Flowers 1 and 2. And this is Bubbles. So I'll just show you this one first. So they simply cut out all those little bits of layers, and then when you put them together, they make a slightly different combination. So you can see that I've cut this one out, and I've done it in white. It cuts out really well. Hopefully you can see that's all cut out really well. And just need to take that out from where it is. So I'm just going to take one of the corners, and you can see it's virtually everything's come out, but I just need to make sure that I've poked those other ones out. Now, depending on what colour choices you use will make your card look really different either way. And I'm hoping and thinking that if you had a birthday at the moment, it would be really awful because you wouldn't be able to see your friends and family and all the rest of it. So why not make a very special card for anyone that might have a birthday just at the moment, because I think they're worth it. So that's what we're going to do today, a very special card for anyone with a birthday. So there we go. So that's actually our second layer. And I've already got over here, hold on, made up our other layer. So that goes on top of that there. So I think you can probably see that it almost gives it like a little shadow effect, and it would look different depending on what colour you've got behind it. So let me just show you with the combination of the Bubbles one of what you've got a choice of. So that's 2 layers for the Bubbles, and this one can actually be 2 combinations. So I can either put one on top of the other that way round. Actually, let me put a card behind it so that you can see the colouring of it. So it could either look that way round, or you could put that one on top, and then you've got a different pattern again. You've got more of the little crosses. And so that's pink and mauve. But if we came in with a black on pink, that again can look quite different. We can go that way round as well. Again, looks quite different. And then I've got another combination here of changing the bottom one to a green, and then maybe going with the black on top of the green, or to the way round. Again, different combination. So that's what I like. That's why they're combination dies, really. So that's the bubbles, but this is the flowers. The one that we're working on today is the flowers. Okay, so we need some flowers as well, but let's get this made first. So I'm going to take a sheet of my sticky specs to put these together. I could use spray, but I'm in my craft room, which is an enclosed space, and I'd rather not use the spray in an enclosed space. It's not a very big craft room, so I'd rather not do that. So first of all, I'm going to stick that one on top of there. So I'm going to open up my sticky specs. So I just take off the layer there, pop that down, and then with the carrier sheet, just press it down so that it picks up all the little micro dots that are on the back of this sheet, this carrier sheet. So I've now got little dots of glue all the way around it, and therefore it will fit onto here quite nicely. So we just need to place that so that that's exactly over the top of the other one, and pop that down into position. And then that's that all stuck. No sticky bits that are sticking everywhere. My fingers haven't got glue all over it. It's brilliant stuff. When you're going to use something like this, it's really, you want to get all of those intricate bits stuck down. So I've already taken the opportunity of cutting out some layers for this, and I've gone for a different colour. So this is my base card, which is a 7x7, and I've decided we're going for purple with this. So I've then taken a layer which is just inside there. I think it's about 16.5 centimetres inside there. Then I've gone for my purple layer there. And then I've gone for a white layer. And I'm going to back this one onto my purple layer there. So that's the basis of how it's going to be. But I want to do a few more different bits to it before I actually get that far. So I'm going to stick this one onto here first of all. So I'm going to do it in the same way. So it's 12 centimetres by 12 centimetres for the actual die piece there. So my background piece is 12.5 by 12.5. You've had snow, Heather? Oh my goodness me. Gosh, we don't want snow. Hi everybody. Hi Carol. Nice to see you there. We had a great afternoon yesterday, didn't we? We had an online workshop for all of my people that I normally would see in person. We had a great afternoon. Now, just pop that in with a little border all the way round. And again, stuck that down. No sticky bits. Not got sticky glue anywhere, but I've got every bit of it stuck. Result, I reckon. Result. Anything that you see today is on the Facebook Live section. I know I should be calling it YouTube Live, but Facebook Live we're calling it at the moment until we get sorted out. But I think it seems to be working much better. Do people think it's working better? Oh, Sandra, you've had problems with yours. That's not good. It seems to be better from here. So it would be nice to know if you're finding it a better style as whatchamacallit as well, if you are. Okay, so there is our little base. Now, I thought that this looked all really nice, but a bit bland. And because my main pattern is in the middle there, I wanted to put sentiment, but I didn't want to put a sentiment across it because then I've covered my beautiful pattern in there. So I decided that I'm going to put some stamps, sentiments around the outside. Okay. So let me bring my stamping platform in. So I've used a set by Creative Expressions that were designed by Lisa Horton, and these are called Sketchy Sentiments. I did have them in stock a little while ago, so you may already have them, or Phil Martin did a set called Scribbled Sentiments, which is a similar sort of thing. I think it's quite a nice one to put around the edges. Unfortunately, Phil Martin's one, Scribbled Sentiments, aren't available anymore, but these ones are, and again on the website if you wanted them. So they've got a nice lot of different selection of wording on there, and I'm going to choose 2. So I'm going to say, let's have a look. On your special day and much love. All right, so 2 different choices. So you could use anything, obviously. So a much love and on your special day, because then really it's sort of like suitable for any occasion, isn't it? So I've cut my piece of card out. So I'm going to pop it into my stamping platform, right up into the corner there. And I'm going to place my wording. So I need to place it so that I can read it. So it's round the right way. Nearly knock the scissors over. Fairly central. So I've got about 2 centimetres either side, and as straight as I can up there, like that. Okay, and then at the same time, I'm going to place my much love one down on this corner, because I thought let's do it all at the same time. So that little much love one can go there. So I'm going to bring my stamping platform down, pick those up. And I'm going to stamp it up with the VersaFine Claire. That's possibly, I don't know whether that's round the right way or not to you. Sorry. Everything's upside down, but I don't know why. I'm just going to stamp them up on there. And bring that over. And I'm using it in the mauve because the card's going to be mauve, all right? So just press them down. Check that they're both okay. Then I'm going to turn that around and I'm going to stamp them up again. Don't need to move them because we know, whoops, might help if I didn't do it with a lid. We know that that's in the right place. Okay. And then I'm just going to bring that back down again. Press that down. And so then I've got my sentiments all the way round. Okay. I'm going to put that to one side. So that when I bring my coloured backgrounds and everything in now, I can now pop this together, and then I'm just going to show you how to do the flowers. So just going to get some glue, and I'm going to pop my first layer down, which was the mirror card. When you're doing layers like this, you can always use, if you're not happy doing the cutting and the measuring, if you've got some of the nesting dies, the plain nesting dies are ideal for anything like this if you're not happy with measurements, because not everybody is. And so, you know, it's all very well me saying do this one 16 centimetres and everything, but not everybody is happy with that. But if you've got your nesting dies, you just take everyone, you know, just use them as they come down, sort of thing. And then finally this layer. And there we go. And again, I'm putting it down so that it's got that little white border all the way around, like so. Now I've already made up my centerpiece, which is going to go in there like that, but I'd like to put some foam behind it. So I'm just going to turn that over and run a few bits of foam on there. Okay. The weather has really changed here today, but it's not cold at the moment, so we're waiting for that. So Heather up in Scotland and Nicola, I expect you'll be sending that down to us later. Well, you can keep your snow. We don't want it. It sounds as if it's a bit good. So I ordered cards and envelopes, but have just got card blanks on in a card. I think that you possibly mean, Heather, the ones that were for the Desford die, because they are just one sheet. They don't look as if they are a proper card, but they're perfectly sized so that you can put your Desford die in there and cut it out in one and then fold it together. That's why they're like that, with an oversized envelope. If it's not, I'll be in touch with you, but I think that's possibly the one that you're talking about. So you could leave that like that. I think that's very pretty. You could even you know, put any sentiment on here and any different colour. As we did before, the other one was pink, this one's mauve, different sentiments, whatever. But let's have a go at making some of the flowers to go on with it as well. I've used the hydrangea die, or hydrangea plate even. So it's a plate die which comes out like that, so all my flowers are on there. And I'm going to use the Craft Artist flower foam. Okay, and I'm going to fold that in half, so it's an A4, and then I'm going to fold that in half again, so that I'm going to cut 4 of the plates out. And although you might think, oh golly, that's really thick, you wouldn't put 4 sheets of even card in, when this goes through the machine, it will compress it completely and it will be absolutely fine. So I'm just going to sit my plate on the top of that. Excuse the state of my boards. I'm going to put that on top of there, and then that on top of there, and I'm going to run that through my machine. They are actually plates for the Spellbinder Grand Caliber, but I do use them for my Gemini. So here we go. So just take that plate off, and you can see that they're all cut out. When you turn them around, they're cut all the way through, no problem whatsoever. So I'm going to make one of the larger flowers. So I'm going to take those 4 out. And again, you can see that they just come out, all of them are all cut beautifully, even the little tiddly ones. It cuts out so well. And the other good thing about this is that we don't have to use heat source. So unlike the iron, where we might have to use a heat source in order to mold the foam, we can use this with our fingers, and that's what I prefer to do. Otherwise, I know I just have burnt fingers all the time. Now I'm going to use some stamens for this. They are old ones that I had at Christmas. So they're wired stamens with a group of different stamens on the top, but it does need to have that little calyx taken off, because we don't want that. Okay, so that needs to be thrown away. So with the foam, we are just going to need to mould it a little bit, but the die itself is quite a solid one, if you see what I mean. There's not very thin areas, and so that's going to make life a bit easier to do. So all I'm going to do is just take my fingers and thumbs and just pull apart very slightly around each of the petals. I'm going to use 4 because I want it to look really full, this flower. I mean, I know it's called a hydrangea, but hardly the flower that I'm going to make out of it is further away from a hydrangea could you possibly imagine to have. But that's the beauty of the dies. It doesn't matter. You can make it into a hydrangea and it looks beautiful as one. But that's not what we're making today. So having pulled them a little apart, you could go mad and pull them further apart. I'm then going to fold them over again, so they're all folded one on top of one another. I'm going to hold the part that's the weakest bit. Let me bring that down so that you can see what I'm doing a bit more. I'm holding the part that's the weakest part here, and then I'm going to twist that. Okay, so really, really twist it, but by holding on to that bottom part there, I'm going to be sure that I got quite a hold to it, but I am twisting it. I'm really twisting. Then I'm going to open that up carefully. So I've got a really twisted piece of foam now as compared to that. You almost wouldn't know the difference there, would you? The difference, that they were the same thing. I mean, not the difference. Okay. So there you go. Just pulling these up. Okay. Just having a look to see where you all live and what you're all chatting about. It's nice that you can chat to each other. You can't see people chatting, Maria. Can you see us all chatting now? I don't know. Oh, you have. Yeah, that's good. Okay. I can see what you're saying as well, which is really nice. Okay. So I'm doing exactly the same thing, pulling them out, folding them in half, folding them one on top of each other, holding on to that weak point, and then twisting. It's really quite resilient stuff, this is, but very easy to work with. I know when I first saw the Fomarian stuff, I was really excited about it and wanted to have a go, but then when I saw you have to do it with an iron, I'm afraid it put me off, because I just know what I do. I just know anything with heat. But yeah, so haven't done that. So I'm keeping these flowers as very basic flowers for you today, because some people don't like the idea of having to colour it all in and do all those things. So we'll just keep a very basic white on white. It'll all be all white. But you could always just touch the edges of these when you've finished, even with a little bit of colour. Might do that actually, just for something to do. So there we are, just pulling them all apart, folding them in half, folding them on themselves again, holding to the weak part, and then just twisting. So just twisting. I love that little noise. Right, okay, so we've got them all together here. I'm going to bring in my glue gun, and I'm going to do it on my glue mat, because I don't want to have sticky bits of glue holding all over the place, because that is what's going to happen. I can tell. Let's bring this out again so that you can, whoops, that way round. Sorry, a bit wobbly for you. So I'm just going to take one of the flowers, and I'm going to put my stamen into the centre there. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue onto the back. Can you see that? Of the flower here, just a little bit onto there. Whoops. Oh, just a little bit. And then maybe round to the side, just to start that off. I'm then going to bring my first layer of petals down, and I'm just going to hold that around. So I'm not touching that hot glue part. I'm just holding that down so that it is forming a wrap round, really, and just giving that a second or two just to set a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to turn it around that way again. And then I'm going to put on my next layer. No right or wrong, really. The only one I would say is that where the right or wrong is that the second layer or any subsequent layers of petals just need to be twisted so that they alternate from the back. Okay, so that they're coming through between the first layer of petals. All right, and then I'm going to bring my next layer down. So I'm not putting any more glue in between these layers. They seem to sort of hold quite nicely on their own without having to do that, apart from the next layer. So I'm then going to put a little bit of glue down in that centre bit there. Turn it around a bit, and another little bit there just to hold this last layer. Pop that down, and I'm trying to make it so that, as I said, that the petals are centered, and I'm just going to hold that down so that all sort of sticks together. I don't want to burn my fingers if at all possible. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue again around the bottom layer to just hold that. Now that needs time to set a little bit. So if you just have somewhere where you can preferably sort of hang it, and let me just show you how pretty that looks that way round. So these were Christmas stamens, and hopefully we're going to be getting lots of lovely stamens in soon. But they work out beautifully, I think, with these. So I'm just going to hang that up, but in true Blue Peter fashion, turn that off. And then if it does drip, it drips on there and that can easily be taken off. So ideal. So bring back my card. So let's do some of these. So I've just chopped the back of my piece of wire off, but I am going to use my glue gun again in a minute just to put them on there. So rules are meant to be broken, but not stay at home rules. And so it's often been said that it should be a rule of 3, but you don't have to have 3. Just 1 would be fine. Maybe 1 large one and 1 small one. Whoops. Or 3, whatever you like. I think I will go with 3, but if you're not happy with that, then you decide. As I said, certain rules are meant to be broken. I don't think I need to put any floral stems, leaves and things on there. I think it would detract because I've got such a lovely pattern here at the back. So I don't think I'm going to worry about that. So let me just turn my glue gun back on again just for a second, because that's really the best way to get the flowers to stay stuck down. Okay. So I'm just going to wait for that to heat up a second. Bring that back over here. And so I'm just going to put a fairly big dollop of glue onto the back of that. And I'm just going to hold that down whilst that grabs. Same with my other one. So if you've never had a go at flower making, then I do recommend that you have a go at these. They look so beautiful, but they really are quite simple. Well, I think they are. But, and I think a lot of people do think they are as well. Hides a multitude of sins. Yeah, Mother's Day over in Australia and in the America, I think. Oh, Sister Fang from Tunisia, gosh. Okay. So you can see that we've got that beautiful background. Nothing else needs to be done to that. Just 2 layers, could be cut in any single way and would look lovely. And then just a flower embellishment on the corner there. I think that just looks really pretty. Any stamens, but wired stamens, I have to say, do make life a lot easier because they will sort of stay in place. But you'd never think that that was the hydrangea stamp, would you? It does look lovely. Well, I think it does anyway. I hope you do think it does as well. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed watching that. I also am very pleased that you seem to have all found me, which is fantastic. I am glad that you did. It's nice that you can chat to each other as well, and that I can see what you're chatting and joining in as well. So that's brilliant. So I'm going to put, this will go now saved onto the Maximum Crafts YouTube channel. So you'll always be able to watch it. If you want to watch how to do the flowers or the background, it'll all be there for you. I will put a proper link over on the Facebook page, but it will be linked to YouTube because it is not a Facebook Live. But from what I can gather, it does hopefully mean that most people are saying that it was a better live to do it from this. So yeah, thank you for saying it's a lovely card. That's really kind of you. It's my sort of style. I love making the cards like this, I have to say. So yeah, I'll just zoom in back down on it. So if there's anything that you like the look of and that you haven't got in your stash, as well as the Sunday special, I've put them all on the Facebook Live section of the cards of the Maximum Crafts group on the website, I should say. I will be back again on a Wednesday. I will be doing a YouTube live because all seems well. So back again on Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock with the Wednesday Wonder, showing you some beautiful new products again. I know I keep on showing you new, but these aren't new. We've seen them a lot. So this is the thing that's lovely and new today. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. So lovely to see all of you. And don't forget, it will be back on the YouTube channel forever and a day for anybody to watch. You don't have to subscribe, but if you do subscribe, I think that you'll be able to see it all straight away. Okay then, thank you so much. Have a good weekend, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Thank you, bye.